What's going on, guys, and welcome to Diode Expedition. In this one, we're going to be upgrading the interior lights on our 5th gen 4Runner. So right here we have the interior LED kit from Diode Dynamics. We're going to go ahead and go over all the lights that are included in this kit and then show you how to install all of them. So all the factory bulbs in the interior of our 4Runner are pretty dim and yellow, and they don't do a very good job of lighting up the interior. This is going to make a drastic difference. It's going to have a much brighter white look, and it's also going to be a lot brighter than what's in there currently. Now, there is a lot of stuff in here for the interior, but there is a couple of lights in here for the outside of your 4Runner. So we have the puddle pod lights in here, and there are also rear license plate lights. So let's go ahead and open this up and look at all the lights included. So opening the box, we have all of our lights, and they also give you some trim prying tools, which is nice to get some of the stuff apart that we are going to be doing. We have some front map lights, we have our license plate lights, we have vanity lights, puddle lights, we have 2 sets of door lights here, and then we also have a dome light and the trunk rear hatch lights. Now, a lot of these bulbs that we're going to be installing are the same bulb number, but they do put labels on each pack to let you know exactly where they're going to be going, which is nice. I also want to mention that we are going to be installing the Stage 1 kit. There is also a Stage 2. It's pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is those are going to be probably about twice as bright as the Stage 1 bulbs. So let's go ahead and hop in the 4Runner and start ripping out those OEM bulbs. So the first one we're going to start with is the map lights here in the 4Runner. So I have the trim prying tool that's included, and we're going to go ahead and just put that in between the black outer piece and the actual lens, and we'll just pop that out. Pretty simple. We'll go ahead and do this side as well. Now we can go ahead and pull those bulbs out. I would suggest turning these off prior to taking the bulbs out because they do get really hot, and if you have a problem getting them out, what you can do is wrap some tape around the bulb, and then you can pull on the tape and it should pop the bulb out. So with the OEM bulbs removed, we'll go ahead now and pop our new ones in. Now we can go ahead and put our lenses back on. You can see this right here pushes on the button that's on the side. So just line that up and then push right here, and you'll hear 2 clicks. Go ahead and put this side back on. There we go. The next one we're going to do, since we're sitting right here, is the vanity light. So once you open up your sun visor and slide open the mirror, your light is going to come on. So we'll go ahead and get this one out using the trim prying tool. From the outer edge, we'll go in there, and there's a clip. You just have to push that, and then we can go ahead and remove this from the headliner. So we'll flip it over. We can grab the bulb and pull that out. Take one of our new ones and get that swapped in there. And then we can shove this back up into the headliner, reinstall that. There we go. And then we can go ahead and do the same thing here for the passenger vanity light. So with all the lights done here in the front seat, let's go ahead to the back seat, and then we can do the dome light. All right, so for the dome light, we'll go ahead and take the trim prying tool again, and we'll put it in the lens, and we can go ahead and pop that off just like so. So for this one, you can see there is a metal tab that you can move. So you're going to be pushing that back at the same time pulling the bulb out. And just like that. So we got the new one here labeled dome. We'll go ahead and get this put in. There we go. Give it a test, and we can go ahead and throw the cover back on. Moving to the back of the 4Runner, we're going to go ahead now and get the rear hatch bulbs replaced. So we're going to take that trim prying tool again, and we're going to get these popped out. So from the outer edge of the light, we'll get the prying tool in there, and then you can pull out this whole thing. Once you get that prying tool in there, you'll push on this metal tab and that will allow this to be removed from the plastic. So once you pop that out, we're gonna then take the front piece off. So there's a couple of tabs you can just lightly remove or twist off. There's 4. Once that's off, now you can have access to the bulb. We'll go ahead and get that switched out. So just like the dome light, just pull back on that metal tab, pull the bulb out, put the new one in place. You can turn this, so just make sure that the LEDs are facing down, and then we'll go ahead and get this popped back on. Put this back in the same way we took it out. There we go. So as you can see, we just installed this one and it is not turning on. If you have that problem, just remove the bulb, turn it around 180 degrees and reinstall it. Next up, we'll do the license plate lights, which as you can see, we have one currently out and the one that is working is pretty dim. So we're gonna get those swapped out. We need a Phillips head screwdriver for that. You're gonna have 2 screws on each light to remove, and then we can get to the bulb. Pull the bulb out and put our new one in. So we'll get these screws back in. As you can see, this is much cleaner and brighter than the factory one. So we'll go ahead and take this side off, which, yeah, that's hot. So we'll wait for that to cool off. Just throw some tape on there. So in the process of doing these license plate lights, I actually noticed it seems like Toyota assembled these wrong. They have the right piece on the left side of the vehicle and the left piece on the right side of the vehicle, and it's actually making the lights point away from the license plate instead of towards the center of the license plate. So they messed up there. I checked the ones on my 3rd gen 4Runner and it is the correct way. The right is on the right side, left is on the left side, and they're both pointing towards the license plate. I don't know, I just thought that was weird. Let me know if your 4Runner is the same way as ours or if they put it together the right way. Next up, we can do the lights here on the bottom of the doors. So we're gonna pop those out and then get bulbs put in all 4 of the doors. So we'll just put the trim prying tool in here, pop that out. You can see the clip is right here that's holding it in. And we'll just unplug it so that the light turns off. Once we have it unplugged, we have to get this whole assembly off from the lens. So if you just push it up this way, towards where the plug was, pop that, and then flipping this over, you can see the bulb is inside there. We'll just pull this off like that, and then we can pull the bulb out. Put the new bulb in there, put this back in like that, and then we'll get this reinstalled like so. Plug that back in and put it back into the door. Go ahead and repeat that on the other 3 doors. So we have all the interior lights now done on the 4Runner. We have one set to do yet, and that is the puddle pod lights on the side mirrors. This is going to be a little bit more involved to get those bulbs removed and get the new ones in. So let's go ahead and start disassembling the mirrors. So the first thing we need to do is pop out the glass. So we're going to push it completely to one direction, put our fingers underneath the mirror, and pop it out of place. There's a couple of plugs there. You don't have to really disconnect those. You can just let them go and let the mirror hang out. So with the mirror out of our way, the next thing we're going to do is pop off this top piece. So if you look inside the mirror, you can see the tab. You can see the white tab right there for the white mirror cap. We'll go ahead and push that to the side and also push this out. Now we have two Phillips head screws right here. We'll go ahead and take those out. This is also a perfect time to upgrade the turn signals on your mirrors if you want with some sequential ones. I'll put the link in the description if this is something you want to do while you're doing this job. So now that we've removed those two screws, we have to get this whole section off right here. So if you look on the inside of the mirror again, there's a couple of tabs that we can remove. One tab is right here, so you just push that down and pull that out. There's also another tab down here. Push that out, and that'll start to release this here. There is also a tab in here, so what you can do is just push this edge of that and pop that out. So once you have this clip off, and this clip off back here, you can take the tool and put it in between here with the mirror folded and give that a little bit of a pry, and then you can get the rest of it popped out. And then flipping it over, you can see the housing here for our bulb. We'll take the plug here and twist that and pull it out, and there is our bulb. So with the bulb swapped, we can go ahead and flip this back over and start popping our clips back in. Get our two Phillips head screws back in there. All right. Just double checking that it's working properly before I go ahead and fully reassemble it. We'll get our mirror cap snapped back in place. There we go. Now we can go ahead and get our mirror reinstalled. So looking at the back of the mirror, you can see there is 4 locations where it mounts to these 4 locations here. So you just want to make sure to get those lined up and put pressure on each corner of the mirror to pop those in, because if you don't get it on there properly, your mirror could fall off while you're driving. All right, so we have this side all finished up back together. We can go ahead and do the same exact steps over on the driver's side. And just so you know that these lights turn on only when you unlock your 4Runner or when you approach it with your key and it is locked. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up over on the driver's side, and then that's gonna conclude the install of the Diode Dynamics LED interior upgrade. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this install on the Diode Dynamics LED interior light kit. If you want to pick this up for your 4Runner, you can head over to yodaexpedition.com. I'll put our link in the description for this. And if you have any questions on this kit, feel free to ask us down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.